Your audio, I'm gonna hit it with a hammer.
Is it bad again?
No.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for stopping by and checking out the Ganking Azeroth podcast. My name is Wayne, and I got Sean with me here,
As always.
as always. And
Mostly.
I know it's been a while since our last show, but we're back, and we're talking Shadowlands. That's what we're doing today.
Well, like we were saying before, like I don't know, like I try not to watch streamers because I wanna, since I don't have beta, I kind of want to go in as a like blind kind of to see it all. So it's kind of hard to talk about, I guess. You know, when you don't have anything.
Correct. I'm in the same boat. I've been kind of avoiding like YouTube videos on it. I've been avoiding streamers. I want that raw experience the first time I play it.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. If I don't have beta, then I kind of want to go in blind, but
Yeah,
just
so-
knowing a little bit.
So if Blizzard doesn't want to hook me up, yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I don't want it to be spoiled. So but Blizzard, if you're listening, just so you know, if you give me beta, I'm going to play the shit out of it. But if you're not going to give it to me, I want it to be a surprise. So I will say I did play I don't think I played it. I think it happened after our last show. I did play through the Exiles Reach, the new starting zone area. I did play that because that's up on the PTR.
Oh, okay.
Because the PTR has it's the pre-patch,
Yeah.
and the pre-patch has Exiles Reach, so I played that. It was neat. It was neat. It was perfect for a new player. Perfect. That's exactly how it needs to be. It was actually really, really good. So
That's good. Yeah, I guess we'll talk about that here later coming up. But from what I've read, it sounds like it teaches you almost everything you need to know. You know?
yeah. So, as far as what have I done since our last episode? To be honest, I've just been doing Mechagon. That's it. I go in.
That's it.
I do my Mechagon dailies, and then I camp out the rares that I need, a little bit of stuff left for that mount, and that's it. I haven't been doing visions. I haven't been doing nothing. Just I've been putting in like an hour or two a day, and that's it. Compared to, I mean, for some people that might be a lot, but for me that's nothing. I'm like a 5-hour guy every day, but so the little bit that I am playing is it's really a little bit for me. So
Yeah.
and to be honest, it's kind of good to get a break.
Mhm.
You know, because with our guild, our old guild, we wipe on trash. When we were doing old deer progression, like I was playing a lot, you know, trying to help out the guild, and then when I switched guilds, I had to play a lot to keep up, and it was, you know, 2 years of playing a lot. Sometimes you just need a couple weeks off. So
Yep.
I've been
No,
kind
I
of.
understand that.
I actually took
That's
a little
why
bit
I
of a
took
break.
6 months off.
I actually took a little. I played, so this is 3 weeks now since our last show. I mean, I probably played maybe 3 hours each week, so that's like nothing for me. It really is nothing for me. So
No, it's not.
other than that, did you do anything good or no?
Not really. I was the same boat. I really haven't played. Today was the first day I've been on in, I don't know, a week and a half, 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
I did some old raids. I did someone in WAD with Black Hand.
Oh,
I did that one.
I don't know why I'm
finished-
drawing a blank on that, but
Yeah, I am too. Black Rock something.
Blackrock Foundry.
That's the one. I did for my monk. I finished my mythic set for that, so I got that transmog look, and I was just doing
Oh, nice.
just running to trying to get the mount. And then I did 2 time walk-ins, and that's really about it. I've kind of just been doing transmog stuff, but like I said, I haven't played in like at least a week and a half.
Yeah, I gotta do the transmog stuff. be honest.
I'm taking my paladin through like Molten Core and the other one, so I can get that tier set.
I said transmog. I meant time walking. I gotta do my time
Oh.
walking stuff.
It's missed this week, so
Yeah.
they're really fun.
And then I think they actually turned it on for the rest of the month. Is the reputation bonus is going on right
so
now,
you should
too.
grind that out.
I gotta grind that shit out. This is the wrong time to take a break. The good thing is
I saw it today when I turned it on. I was like, oh man, the rep bonus is back. I was like, I should probably do the Alliance Blood Elf, whatever the heck, Void Elves or whatever the hell they're called.
Yeah.
I was like, I should probably do them and like all the other ones, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. The good news is I have a whole week off work, so
Nice.
yeah. Yep. So maybe I'll get that done. Probably not, but
I said if we're
give it a go.
for the orcs and stuff, all you have to do is you just run those quests when it's 100%. I would also buy the contracts, so you just get a little bit more. But that's all I did. I ran with a contract, and all I did was those quests, and I got it. So.
Well, if I do, I'm almost done with it, so I could probably get it in a couple hours, to be honest.
I'm saying like the main one. I think they're like the bigger like story quests or whatever that normally give you 2,000. They gave you 4, so it really boosts you quick.
Oh yeah, that would be fast. And I my mumble mouth tonight. I actually bit the bullet today, and I finally pre-ordered Shadowlands.
I was looking at that. I don't know which one I want.
I just went all in.
You did the big one?
Yeah, it gives you a boost. You get a mount. I'm not going to use, but
So you bought the 120, the collector's edition?
No, not that one.
Oh, you just said the epic.
Epic. Yeah, I don't. As cool as it would be to have the collector's edition, I don't want that. But I know you like art books, so I mean that could be something for.
I was thinking about either the collector's or the epic one.
If you buy the collectors, they say you'll have it by October 13th.
13th.
I've never bought a collector's edition. I bought the digital collector's edition one time, but never the actual physical.
Yeah, see, I did that when I bought D3. I bought the collectors, and it came with a whole bunch of crap that's just sitting on a shelf.
Yeah, that's how they get you. You're like, oh, I gotta have that stuff, and then it just sits. It's like, yeah, I got it, but I'm not doing anything with it.
Just taking up space.
Just some more stuff from my hoarding room. Oh yeah, right here. The collector's edition will be shipping from retailers beginning on October 13th. So what did I end up getting? I bought the Epic edition. I got 30 days of game time. The Anima Wormling Pet. Oh, the Traveler's Effect from my Hearthstone. That'll be neat. Wraith Chill.
Yeah, like swirls
illusion.
around you and stuff or something, doesn't it now?
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome, actually. A cosmetic effect, and I think I got a character boost. Yeah, I got one boost. I got the mount. The transmog set. I'm ready. I guess that kind of leads into this thing. Really the biggest news we had since our last show was that they gave a release date for Shadowlands.
Yep, and I owe you a mount.
How do you owe me a mount?
Because you were closer to the date than I was.
Oh. I picked
You said
November 10th.
You said, yeah, it was November something.
November
and
10th.
I said December something.
You said December 22nd.
Yep. I was thinking around Christmas.
Wow.
So I owe you,
I'll have to pick
whatever,
one.
$25
I'll have to pick one. So yeah, NA in North America, the date is October 26th. And for EU, it is October 27th. It is a worldwide simultaneous launch again. Let's see here. trying to find the info on it. I'm not finding any info on it. I think it's like 6 p.m. Central, so it's like 4 p.m. Pacific time is the launch time. So I can't find anything. I can't find anything. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I'm nervous. I don't know how I feel about what's happening, but we'll have to see. Yeah, I found what I was looking for. Global launch. Yep. And kind of moving on there. So we get the game on the 26th, and then 3 weeks later we get the first raid, which is Castle Nathria. Also, Season 1 of PvP starts, and Mythic Keystone Dungeons start. And it's all on November 10th. You gonna raid this patch or this next time around, or try anyways? Maybe.
Maybe
Up in the air. Yeah.
I have they raid when I'm at work, so
That's true.
No. You know.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe on the weekends when they do the weekend stuff, you could get in on it.
That's why I've been debating whether or not to even buy the big one. It's like, how much time do I really have to do anything in this game? You know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could still play. You're actually at a good time. Playing at night like that is sometimes better.
It sucks. There's no one on in the guild. And I don't play EU, so, you know.
Oh. Have you thought about doing that? Transferring all your stuff over to EU?
You can't transfer accounts. I have to
Really?
buy a whole new one. Mm-hmm.
That's kind of bogus in my mind, but... let's see here.
Because I've looked into it. I've asked the people. I've asked the streamer. I've asked Sloot about it, and I don't know if you know who Jack B. Caston is. He's a healer that plays EU in Sloot's guild, and he said that you have to like buy a whole new account. You can't transfer.
So that means you'd have to buy the games and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
because so this is how it works. I would actually have to set up an EU account. I can't take my US account and make you know.
Yeah, you'd have to make a whole new
like when
account.
you go into Battle.net to buy it, you have to pick EU.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could do it, right? Because the game is free up until the most recent expansion, I believe. So all you would have to buy is Shadowlands. But
yeah, but then I lose everything I have here.
Correct. I mean, you'd still have your account. It would still all be there. You just wouldn't be adding to it, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have no mounts, no nothing.
Yeah, they have nothing.
Oof, that'd be rough. That would be rough. So anyways, if anybody's interested in the Shadowlands Collector's Edition, you can get that as well. Like I said, they're shipping October 13th. And it is a pre-order deal. I think you have to pre-order it, so. Let's see here. There is a ton of stuff that once Shadowlands launches, you will no longer be able to get. We're going to cover that in the next show. That'll be on the next show's list of things to do. Let me make a little note of that. Non-obtainables. So that'll be on the next show. So I guess we'll talk a little bit about the lore. You good with that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Wowhead has a little thing written up here. I'm just gonna read what Wowhead wrote. That way I don't screw anything up. So, Sylvanas Windrunner, fallen leader of the Horde, has pierced the veil between Azeroth and the realm of the dead, setting in motion a series of events that threatens to upset the cosmic balance between life and death. In recent years, the machine of death has broken, and the souls brought to the Shadowlands no longer go through the Arbiter, instead are being sent straight to the Maw. As a result, the Maw and its jailer have grown far stronger, while the other domains of the Shadowlands are becoming deprived of anima, a fundamental resource in the Shadowlands. Sylvanas Windrunner has been working with the jailer for a long time to inflict as much death as they can, and with each death and soul sent to the maw, her and the jailer grow stronger. Many innocent souls, including the thousands of civilians killed during the War of Thorns, are now languishing in torment in the maw. As adventurers arrive in Shadowlands, they too will be sent straight to the maw, but their innate connection to Azeroth will save them from an eternity of torment within the maw. However, some of their allies will be left behind, while the adventurers are tasked with exploring the Shadowlands to understand the realm of the dead, and hopefully becoming strong enough to return to the maw and save their allies. So when you hear this, that makes a lot more sense as to what the heck we're doing there. So originally, when I first saw all this stuff, I was like, this makes no sense to me. I don't get it. But after reading this,
Yeah, it's like
oh,
you're just going to the land of the dead, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, why?
What?
Why are we doing that? If they're dead,
Besides
they're not a problem.
opening the I don't want to call it a portal. Besides being able to go there finally, you know.
Right. But this makes this makes more sense.
Yeah, that everything just goes to the maw.
Yeah.
And like everything's growing weaker.
Yeah, everything's growing weaker. Not everything's going to the maw because of Sylvanas. So
not really knowing any of the lore and not reading it besides that, I feel like what's going to happen and how to keep the game going is, I mean, obviously the raid boss is the jailer. That's the end. You know, we're going to kill the jailer. And I'm assuming what's going to happen is all those people we've killed, like Garrosh and the old gods and whatever, are going to escape. And
yeah, so the little bit of stuff that I have seen is like characters like Varian Rin, Garrosh, and all that. They're all going to be making appearances here because they're in the land of the dead. So it's a way for them to bring characters back.
Yeah, somehow I think Garrosh is going to do something with because we really don't know much about the Shah besides Shadowland, you know.
Right.
So has to be a whole expansion, something with the Shah and Garrosh again.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
What I'm thinking and going.
Yeah, and there's like one of those World of Warcraft Chronicles books. There's like a map that kind of outlines the World of Warcraft universe, so to speak. It's like you have Azeroth, and then like on the outside you have like the Shadowlands and the Emerald Dream. Mm-hmm. I think if we don't get an Emerald Dream patch, this expansion, it's going to be its own expansion, I think. So it's like,
well, they have like an Emerald Dream type thing in here. I don't know what the heck the zone's called. I have to find it.
Ardenweld.
Is that the forest? Yeah.
Yeah.
And like reading that, it sounds like the Emerald Dream. Oh yeah, because it says it right there. Yeah. So.
I think that's coming. Let's see here. With that, when you get into Shadowlands, kind of talking about zones and maps, I guess we're moving on here. You have the Maw, which I think that's where we're going to be sent to first, according to that, right? They call it the
That's
endgame.
what I understood, and then you leave.
Yeah, they call it the endgame zone of Shadowlands, a swirling vortex composed of the vilest souls sent to Shadowlands and ruled by the jailer, a being who has never been seen before. The Arbiter only sends to the Maw souls that are considered to be irredeemable and a threat to Shadowlands if left free. No one has ever escaped the Maw, and those who went to explore the vortex were never heard of again. The Maw is also home to Torghast, Tower of the Damned, and replayable endgame instance feature. So we're going to go to the Maw, but then we're going to get out because we're special.
Yes.
And then I think we go to Oribos, the Eternal City.
Yeah, that's like the hub city, I think.
Yeah, and that's where the Arbiter is at.
And then I'm assuming you pick between Revendreth, Maldraxxus, Bastion, and Ardenwald to your starting zones.
Yeah, but I think
is what I'm assuming. Unless if they've changed it to where now they send you where they want you to go again.
I bet you can pick. You'll pick one, but I bet you have to play through it first. I think you have to play through all 4 of them before you make your choice.
No, I mean, like, you know how now it's like, what zone do you want to start in?
Right.
You know, I was thinking before, like, where it was like WoD and MoP, where they just, okay, this is a storyline progression. You're going to start here, and you know.
Yeah.
So you're going to choose where you want to go first, but then you're going to choose your Covenant probably at max level.
Yeah, I think you have to play through all 4 stories in each zone before you can choose your Covenant, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, you said it. You said Bastion, Maldraxxus, Ardenweald, and Revendreth are the 4 zones. So Oribos, that must be... It's just going to be a city, right? That's not a zone?
Yeah, from what I feel like it's going to kind of be like Dalaran, you know? Like,
Gotcha.
That's where everything's at. That's kind of how I understood it.
That's the vibe I got.
It says the arrival point for all the souls in the Shadowlands, where they will be judged by the Arbiter. So,
yeah. I'm trying to think.
This is player central hub for in Shadowlands. So yeah, it's gonna be like Dalaran.
I don't remember what zone I played at BlizzCon when I played the demo. I think it was Bastion.
So I don't remember which one they had.
Crap. I think they threw you down in Bastion. Man, yeah, you know what? After looking at this picture here, I'm pretty sure it was Bastion now. But it was just weird when you played the demo, because they just like threw you down there, and it was just like, oh, you don't even know what's going on. You're just like, oh, this is a zone.
Just run around.
Here, run around and do quests. So you don't know what the hell's going on. It was cool. And then you talked about Covenants, which is like the new main system for this next expansion. Covenants. Wowhead says that they're the new take on factions for Shadowlands, but I think that's overstretching it a little, because there's still Horde and Alliance.
Still Horde or Alliance.
So basically, what a Covenant is once you play through everything, you can decide which group of people, so to speak, or what zone you want to become a part of and kind of team up with. You have the Kyrian Covenant of Bastion, the Venthyr of Revendreth, the Necrolords of Maldraxxus, and the Night Fae of Ardenweald. And depending on which one you pick, you will get a special ability to add to your character's your rotation.
Still don't know what I'm going to pick.
I don't know what I'm going to pick either. It's hard because you want to pick what does the most damage, right? But then it's like, well, I don't really like that zone all that much. I don't really want to be with them.
Yeah, they're making it like... It's almost like it's a one-time thing. Like, if you pick this and it's wrong, you know? Because I look at it also as like that. But then I also as like, okay, what's best for my class, you know?
Right.
But then other times, it's like, I guess if I get on my fucking soapbox here, I guess. But some people will be like, oh, you can't come with us because you picked this one over this one. It's like, well, what if I like turning into a little spirit wolf and run faster? What if that's my thing, you know?
Right.
Well, no, you didn't pick this one, so you suck and you need to stay away. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm hoping
I guess that's
not the case,
my problem
but...
with Covenants, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like, if you're in, like, if pugging is what you have to do, like, you might not get picked depending on what you have. And I'm not saying that's going to happen. You never know, but knowing how that stuff works, like, that's very possible, you know?
Yeah, and that's one of the complaints that people are having, is that as much as Blizzard tried to make it so where they wouldn't kind of push you towards a certain covenant, that's inevitably what's going to happen, because people want you to be as powerful as possible, and if something comes out to be way more powerful than something else, it's going to make a difference, unfortunately. So.
Yep. I get, yeah, that's just the biggest problem I have with it is like if you want this, but it's the worst one, like people are gonna be like, oh, you suck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't. Yeah, you got to change your covenant. So the
Like
good
I
news
said,
is,
if you're in a good guild that doesn't care, then pick whatever you want. But you know,
yeah, and I mean,
if you're in a min max guild, you gotta do what they say, basically.
yeah, if
Or
you're in
if
a
you try and
guild,
pug.
right? If you're in a guild that just wants to have fun and they don't really care, that's probably be your best one to go to if you're looking for a guild, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a min maxer type player, then your choice really is gonna matter. So
Yeah.
And to go with covenants, once you pick a covenant, how do I put this? Within the covenant itself, you will be able to soul bind with one of the denzies or NPCs of that covenant, and depending on who you soul bind with, you can get another spell or whatever you want to call it to add to your character. So that's kind of cool too.
Yeah, they give you that like an extra ability.
Yeah,
Which is basically where it comes in, like what I've been saying, like that ability, because whatever you pick, it does something, and obviously one's going to be better than another one.
Yeah, the soul binds are like the covenant ability is kind of like a generic thing. It's those soul bind abilities that are the ones that are the powerful ones that you're going to use in combat. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about covenants and soul binds a few shows back, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we went over it with the characters that they had at the time, but a lot of them were still like a work in progress.
Yeah. Maybe that's something we can kind of go through one more time. Mm-hmm. If we have time before the expansion comes out. It is only like a month away.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is something we didn't talk about. It says that each covenant will also have a special endgame activity unique to that covenant. So that's kind of neat. The Venthyr of Revendreth will have the Ember Court, which involves throwing themed parties for distinguished guests. The Kyrian of Bastion has the Path of Ascension, which involves inhabiting the consciousness of a soulbind and helping them confront their own challenges. What that is. The Necrolords of Maldraxxus get the Abomination Factory, which players can build their own abominations. That's kind of neat, actually.
I would say that one sounds odd. That sounds so fun.
And then the Night Fae of Ardenweld are put in charge of a soul garden, which has been compared directly to the farm from Mists of Pandaria. So it's like dailies? I'm assuming those are just it's just like they call it a special endgame activity. It's probably just dailies,
Yeah. So the one that I gravitate towards the most is the Necrolords one. That sounds fun. It's like the art, like the Night Fae one's like I don't want another farm,
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of done with all that stuff. Like I liked the farm when it came out, and then now then they came out with garrisons, and it was just ugh.
That was my thing in Mist of Pandaria. That was my deal. I was a farmer.
Yeah, I
freaking farmed every day. Like I went in, I was like, man, I gotta pick up my crops.
It was fun.
I gotta cook some food. Like I gotta get this shit down.
Oh, talking about that, I don't know where it is in here, and I'm jumping ahead just a little bit, but it says something about like professions actually matter now.
Oh.
But like I said, that's good. But talk about the farm, and you're like, oh, I'm cooking and all that. Like I remember when I was reading this, and I was like, oh my god, like professions, like doing a profession actually matters. I think it has something to do with making legendaries or something like that.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my god, finally, like this whole expand, like I'm a leather worker on my monk. I haven't done anything with it. Like, well, what's the point?
Right.
To make gear I can't use. Like, what am I going to do with that?
Yep.
So sorry to jump ahead, but it just made me think of that when you're like, I have to cook and
we'll skip down to legendaries. So legendaries this expansion, you won't get them from like drops or a quest line or whatever. It's going to be sort of like how they worked in Legion, but it's not going to be like RNG based. basically you're going to have access to the rune carver, or it's just somebody who can craft the legendary artifacts, such as the Lich King's Helm of Domination and Frostmourne. If you bring the correct materials, it can craft you something for yourself. And then it says, and get those materials professions. So, speaking of professions, so yeah, you'll be able to craft your own legendaries that are specific to you.
Yeah, besides doing Torghast.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I took it. You know?
It looks like the profession system got a complete overhaul, and we could spend an entire podcast just talking about professions.
Well, it'd be good to actually have professions, like, do something again, you know?
Right.
It's like, look how it was back in Classic. Like, if you got the ISL first, you had to have professions to get the weapon. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and today, besides cooking, what's the point of having a profession?
Right. It's the only one. The only ones that matter are like the jewel crafters for your for your sockets, and then if you can cook food. Other than that, oh, and maybe some enchant, like an inscriptor for enchants. Other than that,
like what's like leatherworking? I think you can make like a mount, maybe, or like a bag, but it's like whatever, you know.
Right. Woohoo! You can make a bag.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of going over this just a little bit here.
I said I didn't look into that at all, but just reading that, I was like, "Oh man!" Like,
I made a note of it.
Means something again.
Yeah, I made a note of it for our next show, so maybe we'll do that. We'll talk about professions. Because we could almost talk a whole show about professions, it looks like. But yeah, it did reference there that in order to create the legendaries, you're gonna have to tailor some stuff, or leatherwork some stuff, or you know, your profession's gonna matter now, which is like you said, something we haven't had in a long time. So,
yeah, there's, like I said, this expansion I haven't done anything with it besides trying to get like a little bit of reputation here and there so I could fly, you know.
Yeah. We talked about zones, covenants. Oh, this part.
Anima. Resource anima. If we go back up to the top where we kind of were.
Yeah, anima. Blah. Basically, this is the thing you're gonna have to collect this expansion. Anima.
But they've changed it a little bit. So, I mean, anima is a resource native to Shadowlands. It fuels all the realms of Shadowlands. Helping the Covenants keep their purpose. Anima will be obtained from many sources in the Shadowlands and used for the Covenant features. Although this does not sound like artifact power from the past expansions, anima will not be infinitely grindable, with a set limit on how much anima you can obtain each day. I don't know.
So that's okay, I guess.
I just remember before when they're like, there's not going to be something you have to farm every day. Well, now there is.
Yeah.
It's just how much of it you have to farm every day.
What's frustrating, too, is when they put it like that, it's like, okay, well, now if I fall behind, now I'm behind.
You're really behind.
Yeah. So, like I said, I haven't played the beta. I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
I do know...
It is all speculation. So.
Yeah. As of me sitting here right now with no experience reading this, I go, I don't want it. And I was I've always been open about it the entire time, that I don't want it, but I'm willing to at least try it. Doesn't mean I'm going to have to like it, though. So.
Right here it says, it's a question, it sounds like, from Wowhead to Cannon and Feasel. So you don't like people farming islands for 80 hours a week. Says there's no indefinite grindable systems in Shadowlands. We want there to be tons of different things you can do. You can do what you want to do for anima.
Okay.
I said,
If
who
you get
knows
it
how,
from
like,
everywhere, I mean, if you get it from everywhere, like if just killing things gives you anima, and you're just gonna get it like nonchalantly, then that's fine. If there's a cap on it, then the cap makes sense. But if it's like you have to do these certain things every day to get your anima, otherwise you're SOL. Oh, and by the way, there's also a cap. Well, that's kind of like, well, what the heck?
yeah.
So, but if
Who
just
knows?
by,
Like, I don't know.
but if just for me, like by me coming in and spending an hour doing my dailies or farming or doing that, whatever I'm doing, if that gradually gives me the anima that gets me to the daily cap, I guess I'd be okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to have to be like, okay, today I have to go farm anima. I don't want that to be the case.
When we were raiding, it was like you have to have your neck at this, or your gear you're getting is useless. You know,
Right? Yeah.
it's like all you're getting is the stats and eye level, but you're not getting really what you need it for, which
Yep.
is the abilities that are in it.
Yep.
That's what I didn't like. It's like, what about people that like they don't have 12 to 13, 15, 20 hours a day to do this? You know, like,
yeah, you literally fell behind, and then you were raiding, and then you'd get geared, and it's like, oh, that's great, but until you get the extra Azerite powers from it, it's not an upgrade.
mm-hmm.
Now it's got now just that boss felt worthless, and hopefully that doesn't happen. Well, we know it's not happening in that way. It's just
No,
so.
but just that like there's something to grind again, even though they say it's not a grind,
Right.
but it is. But
Yeah,
like I said,
we'll have to
everything in
see
here,
how
I
it
have
turns
no
out.
idea.
Yeah.
Like, you guys know as much as I do if you listen to this. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Because Blizzard didn't hook us up with beta. Blizzard, if you're listening. I think we beat that horse in pretty good.
mm-hmm.
So this in Shadowlands, they have this thing. It's listed here as new endgame content, but they call it the Great Vault. And let's see, the Great Vault is the Shadowlands version of the weekly Mythic Plus cache. You can now complete raid and PvP content as well as Mythic Plus dungeons to earn your cash. So I think that's like,
I like that.
At the end of every week, you get the Mythic Plus chest or whatever you open up. I think that's what that is.
Yeah, I kind of like that, because if you're someone that doesn't like doing Mythic Plus, well, you can still get it from raiding or doing PvP. It's like you don't have to do Mythic Plus.
So I actually love that, because I haven't gotten really into Mythic Plus since they came up with it. I think it's fun. I just haven't gotten into it with a team or with the guild or whatever and whatnot. And like, you really, like in Battle for Azeroth, you really fell behind by not, because some of the best pieces were from Mythic Plus.
I remember in Legion, there was guilds that was like, you have to do a 10 every week. Like, you don't have a choice,
That's how it is. That's how it was in BFA too for a lot of guilds. Like, you have to do your 10. Well, now they upped it to 15 to get it the highest max piece. But you have to do your 10 to be a part of this. It's like, well, on top of farming
you have to complete it.
On top of farming Azerite and doing dailies and doing this and doing that and raiding, I got to spend 3 hours, trying to get a Mythic 10 in. Crap. I don't have enough time for this.
I said, from where we came from, I don't know how this guild is, but like in the last one, it was kind of hard to get anyone to do a Mythic Plus,
Yeah.
So I don't know how this guild is. They seem pretty like anybody will do anything, But
yeah,
I
have found with
like,
this,
if these certain people don't go, then like you're screwed. You know what I mean? Like,
it's weird being in like a real guild. All you gotta do is ask, and people are like, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's go."
Mm-hmm.
But right now it's kind of a bad time too, because like everybody's kind of taking that pre-expansion break, you know?
Yeah, there's no like. That's why it's like I haven't pushed like doing anything because it's none of them need it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like I feel like they'd still like the other like when I was on like a week ago, like someone or a week and a half ago, someone was asking to do like some kind of a Mythic Plus, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah." It's like they still want to do it, but it's like what's like I don't know, what's the point of kind of boosting me when there's no point, you know?
Right. Because in like 3 weeks, it's not going to matter anyways. But
Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say. Shoot.
But
Oh well.
so with this Great Vault, do you still get a chest, like a Mythic Plus chest, or is just everything goes into that vault and you just get? Oh, I didn't
So let's see.
I didn't click the link.
You didn't click the link.
I didn't click the link.
Once a week on reset, you will be able to open the Great Vault and select one item from the items that were added to your vault the previous week. This should make getting specific pieces of loot and upgrades significantly easier, although there is certainly a random factor. So, complete the following objectives adds choices to your vault. Defeat 3 raid bosses, 7 raid bosses, 10 raid bosses, 1 mythic dungeon, 4 mythic dungeons, 10 mythic dungeons, 125, 350, or 875 conquest points. So what is that? So then you just get to choose. So by looking at these pictures here. Let's see here. I didn't want to read through this whole thing, but
Well, we don't have to. We can use it for next time.
oh yeah, but I guess we'll go over it another show. That'll give us more stuff to talk about. Good idea. But yeah, so basically, the more stuff you do in the game, the better weekly loot chance you're gonna have.
Yeah.
I think it all adds into one, and then like you get to choose one of those. Yes. Keeping in mind that you'll only be able to choose one item. So.
But looking at the picture, you have, if you do all your raids, all your Mythic Plus, and then all your PvP, you have 9 chances at loot that you want.
Yeah, it'll give you 9 things to choose from. You only get to choose one, but it'll give you 9 things. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking the Great Vault. As of right now. It could change in the future, who knows, but as of right now, I'm kind of liking it, so.
Yeah, that's actually really good, in my opinion, but. Let's see here. Shoot, I lost my spot. Oh, there we go. So, as we're talking about the Great Vault and dungeons, there is 8 traditional dungeons. 4 of them are considered leveling, and the other 4 are going to be considered level cap dungeons. Obviously, once the patches for the expansion come through, we're going to get more dungeons to do. But as of right now, there's 4 and 4, which I think is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion.
Yeah, it's like one zone dungeon, and then the other 4.
Yeah. And then we talked about the raid a little bit already.
Yeah, and then, it comes out, what does it say at the top here? Was it November 10th?
November 10th, yep.
And then 17th, Mythic comes out, and then Raid Finder Wing 1. So.
Yep.
If you want the rest of them, December 1st is Wing 2, 15th is the 3rd one, and January 5th is the 4th. Which I don't understand why they do that, but.
Yeah, I don't know why they just don't.
Raid Finder would come out first, but I don't know.
I don't get why they don't just drop all of Raid Finder all at once. I don't understand. I don't know why they. I guess it's just to spread it out for people, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's see here. What's next on our list of things? We got Torghast Tower of the Damned. Now, when the beta first came out, or the alpha, this is what everybody said they loved this. Like all the streamers that were playing it.
Mhm.
This is like the one thing I did watch was people just
And
grinding.
I never found anyone doing
Torghast.
it. Like every time I turned it on to like watch anybody, like they were doing Torghast, but like they hadn't started yet, and then I had to leave or something. You know what I mean?
Oy, that sucks.
So I haven't seen any of this. I should try and find a video on it or something. Because it's just like a gigantic dungeon. It's like 75 levels or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's never ending. And it gets harder and harder as you go. But as you go through it, you're able to pick powers that kind of power up your character. It's almost like, so you know how like corruption is, you add a piece of corruption to your gear and it gives you this thing that it does?
Yeah.
The Torghast Tower has kind of the same thing, but as you know, each floor, and as you loot things, you're able to add that stuff to you. It's kind of neat. By the end,
And then
it
you
can be
get, like,
really powerful.
And I think this is another way you get your legendaries is through this tower.
Yeah,
If
there's
I'm not mistaken.
there's stuff that drops that you have to collect to be able to craft those legendaries. I think it's gonna be
There's
fun.
also- It sounds fun, but I hope it's not like remember in Legion when you had the withered and you had to like carry them through that area.
That kind of sucked.
I just hope that this doesn't turn into that. Because when I read it, I was like, "Oh, that's neat." You know, it's 1 to 5 people. But I was like, "Man, this is just like that withered thing that I never did." I think I did it twice.
Oh, you don't want to know how many times I did that withered thing. I grinded out that reputation. It was terrible. Just withered run after withered run. I got so good at it, I could do the whole run and not lose any withered.
Oh, see, I never got it that good.
Oh my goodness, it was rough. Like, I was so happy when I got exalted with it. I was like, yes, I'd never have to do another withered run again.
And I wish they would figure that out, like balance that out to where, you know, it was kind of like for me with like flying when it was like, oh, I'm finally done with Mechagon and the other one. I can't remember what it's called. I'm drawing a blank. You're like, I am never going back there again. And I've only gone, yeah, and I've never gone back to Nazjatar.
Yeah, that's one of my goals was to like finish Nazjatar to get that mount, the crab mount. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's going to happen before Shadowlands, unfortunately. I'm running out of time. So
I just wish they figured out a way to like make something like that you have to like you said, the wither run. You're like, finally, I never have to do that again. I wish they would figure out a way to like keep it going. You know what I mean? Like, not make it so horrible that when you're finally done, you're like, thank God, you know, I don't have to do it anymore.
Right. You want this to stay fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Yeah, stay fun. So hopefully this doesn't turn into that.
Hopefully. Oh, it says right here, anima powers are temporary powers that you collect as you work your way through Torghast. They promise to help make the tower fun and interesting experience that is different every time you play it.
I guess that's probably what it needs is just a different experience every time, you know?
Yeah. See, we talked about legendaries. PvP. Let's see, what do they have to say about PvP here? Oh, the return of PvP vendors. I guess that's important.
I didn't know they were gone.
But these vendors, players can once again target specific items for PvP, as well as use conquests to upgrade their items. While endgame systems will not be available for testing, hearing about this change early is promising. I haven't heard anything other than this little tidbit here about PvP so far. I couldn't tell you what's going on in the beta right now with it.
I don't watch anybody that does PvP.
Yeah, neither do I. Isn't that frustrating to to find out anything about this new expansion, you either have to read it here or like watch a streamer?
Yeah, I mean, but that's also my thing, because it's like I haven't read anything, so it's kind of my fault too. It's like we were saying before, it's like I want beta, but I almost don't, because I almost want to go in blind. You know, like all the streamers that had it, okay, they played the raid, like nothing,
Right.
nothing is going to be new to them. So then it's almost like we were talking to that one guy in the guild who got BFA, and he was like, yeah, I leveled my character and all that, and now I have to do it again on live. He's like, and I don't want to do it again.
Yeah.
That's my thing. It's like I don't want to burn myself out in beta.
I got BFA beta, and I didn't level a whole character, but I did play it, and I found that going into it, it was like, oh, I gotta do this again. Crap.
Yeah, and that's kind of like one of those things that I don't want. But maybe with the leveling changing and all that, maybe it'll be fun, because they're
I hope.
dropping levels, and it seems like who didn't someone? I'm not gonna say because I don't know if it's actually true or not. So
Okay.
but it was
Fair
like how
enough.
fast you could level a character. It was like a ridiculous amount of time from like 1 to 60. A ridiculous amount.
Fast or long?
Fast.
It
Like
was pretty fast.
you could do it. I think it was like 12 hours.
Oh.
But like
That's
I said,
pretty
I don't
fast.
know if that's true. So like,
Yeah. 12 hours. That's
I mean, you can get that. You can get to max level in a day if you're starting from 1, and if you're only doing 50 to 60, what is that like? You can be max level in like an hour.
Yeah, I bet you it slows down between 50 and 60. Because if you start out at 0, right, and you do that Exile's Reach, by the time
Mhm.
you leave, you're level 10. So basically, you're
Oh
leveling.
wow, you are.
Yeah, you're leveling 10 through 50 in the open world or whatever expansion you choose to level through.
Well, the Exiles Reach is only if you're a new player, like brand new.
Well, you can do it every time if you want.
Oh,
If
you
you're
can?
brand new, you have to do Exile's Reach starting out. You have
Yeah.
to. If it's your first ever character. But once you've done one character to max level, you can skip it if you want. Because if you pick an allied races don't go through Exile's Reach.
I'll say they start at level 10 already, and then
Yeah.
Demon Hunters and DK start at, I think it said level 8.
Yeah, DKs do not go through it. Yeah.
Neither do Demon Hunters.
Yeah, you said level 8. Yeah. I didn't know they were part of that group. So. Very cool. There's just so much. This expansion is filled with a lot of stuff, and it's really awesome. I hope it's good.
Yeah.
Let's see. We kind of talked about. I guess we'll skip down to the leveling system because we're just kind of touching on that. So, for people who don't know, basically right now we're max level is 120, and for new people coming in, having to level all the way to 120 is probably kind of a daunting task, right? So they did what they called a level squish, and now max level in Shadowlands is going to be 60. And if you are a brand new player starting out level 1 through 10, like we said, you'll be in Exile's Reach. And then after that, you'll come out at around level 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there. Levels 10 through 50, you will arrive at your capital city, and then you will be able to pick an expansion to level through. If it's your first character, you have to do the BFA content. However, if it's not, like I said, you get to pick an expansion. Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, blah, 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 blah. And it gives you the ability to play through the entire expansion so you're not jumping around. Which I think is awesome. This is perfect for me.
Yeah, I would love to, and we talked about this before, it's like, I wish I played during Wrath, because it just seemed really fun.
Right. Now you'll get your chance
So when I level a character, which I think I might actually do, definitely going to pick Wrath.
Oh, so you're thinking about starting a brand new character?
Yeah, like one of the ones that I boosted that I have trouble playing because I haven't played it from the beginning. So I was like, oh well, with the level squish, it's not going to take as long. This thing says it's only going to be, it's 50 to 70% faster than current leveling. So it's like, okay, what if I level a paladin or something, it won't take as long, and then I can try out like the new leveling system and all that. So that's kind of what I was figuring.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. That's pretty fast, actually. A
Yeah, 50 to
75%.
70%.
That's really fast. Because really, it doesn't take long now.
I haven't leveled, and I thought I didn't like leveling in BFA. I think it took too long myself, but
Yeah, BFA was
110
kind
to
of a drag.
120.
Yeah.
So I thought Legion was too. I didn't like it.
Let's see here. The next thing here was new character customizations, but we've talked about that before.
I'm so excited for that. It's cool, like how much they've added in.
It's actually a lot what they added in, to be honest.
It's like a whole new game, you know.
So if you go to the PTR, you get to play with all this stuff already.
I have to download that or something because I want to see what like, and they got the new animations like when you pick your character, like now they just stand there, but like when you pick your class, like they actually do something, which is cool.
Yeah,
and really I want to see what monk is because I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, it's actually really neat. Yeah.
But it's about time that they've caught up with the character customization. You know, it's about time.
It is. Every other game out there is very detailed.
Yeah, I'll say like Elder Scrolls, like you choose everything, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like there's too many choices in games. I get why they do it, right? You know, more choices are better. But sometimes it's a little much, like when you're worried about like how fat to make your cheeks compared to how skinny to make them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you spend 4 hours creating your character. Like, well, I'm done for the day. Like, guess I'll play tomorrow.
Yeah.
But so after creating the character in the PTR to do Exile's Reach, I found that what WoW did or what Blizzard did here it's almost perfect. Like, you get a lot of choices, but it's not so in depth that it takes you 4 hours to make a character. My personal opinion, but. And I just love like how you can like. There's a picture here of the different dwarfs, and it's like, oh, if I want to create a Wildhammer or a Wildhammer clan dwarf, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just amazing to me, but.
Yeah, it's definitely I'm excited for the character creation.
Yeah. Other than that, I think that's everything on this week's show. You're not going to believe it, but we're already an hour deep.
There's heirlooms still. This is probably important for some people.
It is probably. Go ahead.
There'll be no more bonus experience on heirlooms in Shadowlands. So all that stuff you got really doesn't. Well, it does stuff, but you don't get bonus XP for it. But it says, however, they will still be powerful gear that will level with you. Will likely be better than anything you can pick up as you level. And as an added bonus, all the heirloom pieces except weapons and trinkets will now have a bonus, like a set bonus with it. So. So it only goes to level 50, I'm assuming, right? Probably. I took this as you'll be good up to 60, and then once you hit 60 and you start doing your dungeons and all that, like that gear will become
way better.
Obsolete.
Interesting.
It's like if you have a 2-piece, it says rested experience consumed is reduced by 30. 3 set is increase your own out of combat regeneration in the outdoors, normal dungeons and battlegrounds, which I don't. What's kind of whatever. 4 sets gaining a level trigger burst of knowledge, dealing holy damage to nearby enemies and granting you 40% primary stat for 2 minutes. And then defeating additional enemies extends this effect up to 2 additional minutes. And then 6 set is rested experience consumed is reduced by an additional 30%.
Interesting.
So it kind of helps you with it because rested experience, like you gain a bonus. Like how does that work? Like if you have rested XP, you gain that experience faster.
Correct. So what this is
anymore.
It's reducing how fast so like, yeah.
You get rest. It sounds like you get rested XP for longer because it's
Yes.
reducing it,
Yes.
like how fast it goes. So it kind of is experience boost, but it's not. You don't get bonus XP. You just get longer rested XP.
Correct. But that 4th set where you get that damage boost, that's a pretty big.
Yeah, 40% primary stats.
Yeah, that's pretty big, man. That's a lot, actually.
And you can get up to 4 minutes. 4 minutes is a big buff.
That's a big buff. Yeah, you're right.
And other than that, there's just like technical updates that I have no idea what that even means. So.
Oh yeah, they updated it to where basically you're gonna need a better processor and better video card to play.
As long as my stuff still works.
Yeah, yours still works.
I'm not buying another $1,000 frickin' graphics card.
According to this, yours is still good. We'll see.
No,
because
they
mine
recommended GTX 1080. I don't have that.
Right.
But minimum, I have that. Actually, I have better than the minimum. I'm like in between the two.
Yeah, my minimum. I have the RX 590, so I meet that minimum.
And I have like the GeForce. Like, what is it? Like a. Can't see it from here.
960.
Yeah, 950, 960 or something.
I think you have a 60, or do you have a 980?
Mm. Yeah.
Get the box there.
Still sitting here, so I have shit in it.
got some hoarder stuff in it.
970 is what I got.
Oh, okay, 970.
No, it's like all the fucking, like the booklets and other parts for the computer, like wires and crap.
I got a whole closet full of that stuff. So
yeah, it's like it's just it all goes in there. And I still have my old graphics card from with a great spill, so I'm gonna keep that and always remind myself you're an idiot.
Wait, so you have a second graphics card? Is it busted?
Oh, it don't work. It's
it doesn't
basically
work. Okay.
a showpiece of me being an idiot.
It's a paperweight. I'm gonna mount it on the wall.
I should frame that and be like, and always look at it and be like, you're a dumbass.
And put a little plaque on it. The only fatality from the great spill of 2016.
Well, that and power supply a couple of years later.
Yeah.
And a hard drive a couple of years later.
Yeah.
So anybody that doesn't know, it's a great story. I was drinking a beer. Yeah, I dropped it right on top of my computer.
It spilled right inside of it.
Right inside of it.
Now you reference that as the great spill of 2016.
Was that 2016?
I think it's either 16 or 17. I think it was 16.
Well, I know it wasn't 17. It had to be 16.
Yeah.
Well, when was it happened during it was WAD and we were doing the last raid. What the heck is that raid called? No, I can't remember. It was like my favorite raid. Huh?
Old Deer?
No.
The last raid.
No. Of WAD.
Oh. The last raid of WAD. Why the hell am I drawing it? Hellfire
I can't remember it either.
Citadel.
Yep, that was during Hellfire Citadel when that happened. So whenever that was.
Yeah, 2016.
Great spill.
So, off-topic subject in regards to computer parts. NVIDIA just announced a new graphics card.
I saw that on Twitter.
3080. So it's basically, so you have the 1080, and then you had the 2080. Now it's the 3080, and it's only like $400.
That's it?
That's it.
I thought it was like $1,000.
No.
Or plus.
No, it's like $400. Let's Google that.
Look this up here.
Yeah, it's so good. It's like, oh boy, I might have to buy that.
RTX 380.
Yes. Available on September 17th.
Starting at $700. That's it?
Oh, that's what I thought it was 400. Said 700.
No, this
huh?
one's it's just 700 is still cheap. Remember when the
Hang on.
1080 came out and it was like $1,000?
How did you find this?
I just googled GeForce or RTX 380, and then I'm pretty sure I'm on Nvidia's website.
RTX 380. Oh yeah, $700 at Best Buy.
That is so cheap. That's worth it. That like, you should just go out and buy one.
Yeah,
Not that I need one, but should just go out and buy
considering
one. It's
the-
like $700.
Considering the 2080 is $700.
Yeah, but remember when those came out though? They were over $1,000. Like it was crazy expensive.
You could get the Titan RTX.
Oh, is that the really expensive one?
Oh yeah, $2,500.
Oh, maybe that's what I was seeing then. But even like that, well, that's crazy. I don't know if I don't have that kind of money to spend on a computer part.
I could have swore it was cheaper than that. Maybe it was the three, because there's a
But
370.
even for just a regular graphics card for $700 like that, that's I paid $5 for mine, and mine was outdated already.
So they had the 390, the 380, and the 370. The 370 is 500. Whoa!
What?
That stupid website just started playing audio.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
It was blasting in my ears. So yeah, $500
Not
for
bad.
the 3070, and that's,
Which is just as good.
let's see, 588 cores. Let's see what mine is. I have an AMD RX 590. What are my specs? Specs. Compute units 36. 1469 megahertz. What's this NVIDIA one at? 1700. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. I don't understand any of this.
Yeah, I don't know any of it. That's why I was like, my buddy just built a computer and he's sending me all the specs and all that, and I was like, I was like, like he did like awesome like wire management. Like there's no wires in front of anything, and he's got like really cool lights in there, and he sent me pictures like, oh, that's neat. I was like, but all the technical stuff, I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so it says that my video processor has 2304, right? This new RTX 380 has 8000.
Hmm.
The 370 has almost 6000. So it's like twice as good. Might have to buy one. Fuck.
It's not expensive for what it is. It's really not expensive.
I know, but
I don't think.
it's no, it's really not. And it's got 4K support. I need to just build a new computer.
There you go.
Get one of those, get a new processor. I wonder what AMD is going to come out with to go up against
Battle
this. Yeah. Because you know they'll shave $200 off that price.
I really want to know like what it truly costs to make that. You know what I mean? But it's like I get it, like they have to pay their employees to make it, and you know all that stuff going into it. But I want to know how like the price comes out. Like, oh, you want a Titan? Okay, well, give me $3,000. I want to know like where
I bet you it's.
that's at.
I bet you it costs.
Because I feel
20,
like these
20%.
things don't cost that. I feel like these things don't. I don't know. I don't know anything about that stuff. I just feel like it doesn't cost as much as they make it out to be. You know, like to make.
Yeah, I bet you it costs 20%. So, like, let's say if your graphics card's 1,000, it costs them 200.
Mm-hmm. I get it. They need to make money and all that. Like, I understand that. That's not what I'm getting at. You know.
Because I read something like that for like iPhones. Like you pay $1,000 for an iPhone or whatever. Cause that's how much they cost. It only costs Apple like $250 to make one.
To make it.
Yeah.
Because I just look at cars and it's like, you know, you can buy like a little Mitsubishi, like I don't even know what the heck it's called, like a Mirage or something. It's like those cars are like $10,000. You know.
Right.
Or it's like, or you can buy a freaking Lamborghini for $1 million or something. You know, it's like where like I don't understand the difference in prices besides like how fancy it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I get it. There's a ton of research and development that goes into it, but you know it doesn't. You know.
Oh yeah. But I was always just
cost
curious,
too
like,
much.
what's it really cost someone to make this? You know?
Right. So yeah, that's a good off-topic subject. It's pretty.
I
good.
still can't believe how cheap that is. That is insane. I want one.
October.
I don't have a use for one, but I want one.
A graphics card?
Yeah, mine's fine.
What do you mean? Why not?
I don't know.
I'll have to think about it.
yeah, you know me. I gotta think about it.
I'll think about it, and go drive around the block.
That's how it was when I bought the laptop.
Yep.
We just drove an hour here to buy this laptop. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna go drive around the block because spending $1,000 is scary.
Jesus. So okay, shameless plug time.
You can go.
Oh, I'll go first. Okay. This is so awkward whenever we do this. It's so silly. My name's Wayne. No, it needs to be done. It's just awkward. We're like, okay, let's do it now. The name is Wayne. I am Wayne the Pain TV on Twitter. I am also, I think I'm Wayne the Pain TV now on Instagram too. Let me see. Did I change my name over there? I know that was in the works. Yes. I'm Wayne the Pain TV on Twitter and Instagram. I'm Wayne the Pain on Twitch. And yeah, that's it, I think. Yep. How about you?
Sean, aka Rurruk Gaming, and that's what I am on Twitch and Twitter.
Nice and easy.
Nice and easy.
And then, also one last little bit of news in regards to the podcast since our last show. We now have our very own Twitter account.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and that is at Ganking Azeroth. That's our Twitter account. We've got a whole, we've tweeted three things.
Oh, did we?
We've tweeted 3 times. Yeah. So,
all right.
And we got two followers. So if anybody out there listening, please follow our Ganking Azeroth Twitter account. It'd be much appreciated. And yeah.
Cool.
That's all I got.
That's all I got.
All right. Peace.
Later.